Hey, Hound Dogs, I'm David Hankins,
I'm Paul Hankins.
And I'm Rachel Wells.
and you're on the air with Power Squared. We invited Rachel on the show because we haven't seen her in a couple of weeks, and we also wanted to talk
Yeah.
about issue 22, which is the newest one we just started.
Yeah,
Which,
just finished 21 last month.
that's
Yeah.
right, I know, way back in May.
So long ago.
And so I don't really think we have a good title for it.
No.
It's it started out initially it was as a the parents coming to visit the boys on at a college day, parents'
Parents'
day,
Day.
and I don't know if they really do those anymore. I mean, so we thought, oh, we'll switch it to make it a holiday. I kind of wanted to do a Christmas issue at some point. I thought, hey, the parents can come visit at Christmas, but then the last issue was over Easter, so it seemed like it lose 8 months, or it just seemed like it'd be weird to make that kind of a time jump. Since everybody's,
Yeah, I,
so we changed it to just coming to visit.
I remember reading through the script and I recall you saying, "Oh, it was originally going to be Christmas, but we decided it's not Christmas." I disregarded any references to Christmas, and I saw in the script like holiday ham,
Oh,
and I'm
okay,
like,
sure,
that just made me laugh because like it can be an Easter ham. Oh
yeah,
wait, they had Easter already.
yeah. I just yeah. So that's the kind of
It can
stuff
be a
maybe.
June ham.
Or it could just be a celebration. Yeah,
They're just
Yeah, I
hams.
feel like what I was thinking was that parents, when their kids are away at college, they don't really need a reason to come visit, right?
yeah,
But I'm thinking like these parents in particular, they might need a reason. Although, if you read the issue and find out they do have a reason.
yes. Well, actually, they're yeah. The parents. This I was hoping to kind of set this up as the horror, the biggest terror of the boy's life or something, and the parents can visit because they're kind of. We set it up where the parents are estranged from the kids, not really close to them, and they're coming to. It kind of unnerves the boys to a degree.
Yeah, that part made me sad because like I'm always sad when parents and kids don't get along.
Yeah, it was just sort of to try to give it a little bit of a. I think this kind of goes back to the early days when we were first coming up with this, and the idea was that the parents would uh, have their job would be to be hunting for people like the boys or whatever,
Right.
and so that kind of got into the they'd have to be a little not close to them to not know all this. So that's kind of where that came from, and we finally fleshed it out. Anyway, so you've actually been one of the few people to actually read it. So what did you think of it?
I found it very interesting. I remember asking before when we're going to see their parents. So we finally saw them. And I'm kind of turning over in my mind at the moment what the parents are going to look like. They don't actually appear until the very end of the issue, and I'm still at the beginning of the issue, so I haven't quite worked on designing them yet, but that's going to, it's going to come up before we know it, right?
Right. And they're around for the entire next issue 23. It's all parents.
Yeah. Yeah, without spoiling too much, they they all go to a party together, and it's just kind of entertaining to see their interactions, I guess, the boys and their parents, like the mom mixes up their names,
Yeah.
which I always wonder, of course, with like some twins, like Marty and Eli, you can easily tell them apart. But like, I can't help but see parents with like baby twins where they're really identical, and you're like, how do you tell which one is which?
See, that was I think I may have said this on the show before that when we found out they were having twins, I grew up watching television sitcoms on television with twins. I can't tell them apart, so that was like this fear in my head. It was like I grew up with that as you can't tell them apart, and we could. There were little differences between them, but that was my
I
gut.
imagine if you know a person, it gets easier to like know their particular intricacies of their face.
Yes, and but when they're little babies, I could see them. But you could potentially mix them up. But I think as we kind of figured it out pretty quickly, who's which, and um, as they get older, we don't really call you by each other's names or anything like that, do we?
No.
See, sure.
Yeah, I
But
can't help but wonder, like, if a parent of a twin ever just called one of them the other name, and that just became their name forever. Like when they were a little baby, they didn't know any better. They
uh,
couldn't correct their parent, and then they just got mixed up for the rest of time. They're like, what if that has that ever happened before? It must have, right?
I,
It must have happened.
I always feel sorry for like people that, the first time they introduce you to their child and they call you some weird name and that's your nickname until you die because so and so called you that. Like,
Yeah.
looked at you and went, Floops, we've been calling him Floop forever. Like, really? So when did the kid get the right to do that? But anyway, I've known some people.
The other thing about this issue was that we get to see a little more personality out of Mocha. She interacts more with she's involved with the boys in more than just like being on a mission or something.
Well,
and we get to see her in like college clothes.
Yeah, we're trying to sort of, the idea is that she and Marty are in a relationship, and one of the future story ideas is she actually gets a job on campus.
Right.
Oh.
Selling.
I do recall like she was disguised as one of the campus baristas once.
Yes, and she gets the idea was she would get a job as a barista at the student union.
Yeah.
And in this issue, in 22 and 23, we start to see her learn human things.
Yeah, like there's a lot
which
of
is pretty entertaining. Yeah.
I'll explain later.
Yeah.
So yeah, well, I think that came from.
Yeah.
It's a little from the I Love Lucy show. You got a lot of explaining to do. Ricky had that Cuban accent.
Yeah.
Which is, I'm sure the reference went over some people's heads. But anyway, have you ever seen the I Love Lucy show?
I've seen like little bits and pieces. Never seen the whole thing.
Because when I was a kid, it was on. You couldn't. It was on all the time. And as time's gone on, then it's not on as much. I don't even know if it's on at all.
Yeah, I don't know.
It must be on somewhere. They have like channels for really old shows.
Yeah, it's
what TV Land used to be.
Well,
TV
but
Land,
they have like things where they show stuff like I personally, there's certain like I'll put Friends on while I'm doing something because I'm familiar with it, or Frasier, something like that. But I don't really have a desire to watch a Western again, or Perry Mason or Mannix or that kind of stuff.
I just remember TV Land showed I Love Lucy all the time.
They used to have I Love Lucy, then it was Dick Van Dyke, then Mary Tyler Moore, and then Bob Newhart, which is like this really, if you're of a right age, that was like a really good little group of shows because they kind of work together. But yeah, those are the
It must be on
things.
streaming somewhere on Lucy, right? It must be somewhere.
I'm sure it's. I wouldn't be surprised. I'd be shocked if it wasn't on like Paramount Plus or something, but I don't know.
That's exactly what I was thinking, but I can't tell you why. Paramount Plus in particular.
Because it was on CBS, and CBS is part of Paramount Plus. That'd be my theory. We could look it up and see.
According to Google, I Love Lucy is on Hulu.
Oh, well, there you go.
Ah. There you have it, folks.
Yep.
Next time you need to watch I Love Lucy.
So you like the script? It's different from the last one that was more action oriented.
Yeah, as much as I enjoyed the last arc with like the different setting, I was starting to get a little sick of having to draw camo. I want to get it as right as possible, but at some point after 20 pages, I'm like, I'm tired.
Give me a red shirt and blue jeans, yeah.
But now I need to go back to drawing, what do you call them? Civvies.
Yeah.
And I know on page 20 of issue 21, they're back in their civvies. They're flying home.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh, this is so different now.
I've just been informed that I Love Lucy is on Hulu, Paramount Plus, and Amazon.
Okay, there you go.
Ah, we got it right.
Yeah.
Paramount Plus.
Yeah. Well, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah. Moving on.
Yeah. So it was just a reference. Because I kind of sometimes, when writing this, I kind of try to think of it as a little bit of humor, like a little bit like a sitcom, It
is sitcom with like the parents that just don't approve of you at all.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I was trying to
and the girlfriend is totally clueless.
Yeah. Well, they're totally clueless about her too.
Yeah, and the dinner party, it's got all the trappings of a sitcom.
Well, I want there to be humor in it, even if it's a little dark sometimes.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, like a little bit of a little bit, a little sprinkling of everything. You know, I make a good soup.
So, and I think so. The idea we'll do 22 and 23,
Yeah.
and then 24 will be Trevor's,
Yeah.
which you wrote.
Ah.
Yeah.
What's the title?
Well, the tentative is Gasha Dokaru.
Okay, that's what I did. So I didn't try to
Oh
pronounce it.
yeah.
There'll be another action-oriented yokai battle.
Yeah, and then are we gonna try to write something that's sort of the other
Yeah,
half
we
of it?
should write something that's the other half, which will probably go with that.
Right. And then we have some other stuff kind of written as well.
Yeah.
We have it for days, as long as we can keep doing it. So, so yeah, so the parents are new. You have to, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, are you gonna try to make them look like Marty and Eli split apart, or what are you?
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I mean, of course, Marty and Eli both look quite similar, so I'm gonna actually, yeah, I really have to think about what to make the parents look like because they probably don't look like identical, right?
No, I hope not. That would
I'm
be
gonna have to think about that.
that'd be really kind of creepy.
Oh no.
Yeah. So, okay. So you gave us the first 8 pages, like you normally do. You start off with thumbnails.
Yeah.
So I think we've talked about this before. Were you sort of taught to do 2 sets of everything, or how did you come up with that?
Yeah. In college, where we're trained how like the process of making comics, we learn that at least 2 sets of thumbnails is ideal, especially if you're like working for a client, you know, that because that way, because I can't tell what you guys are thinking the comic will look like. I just have to kind of, and because I have to put a lot of ideas on paper to see like what matches your vision best or like what you might like best, regardless of your vision. So I think it's worked really well in terms of power squared because you know, I tend to make each set have different ideas about staging, composition, page layout. That way I can explore the breadth of of the potential of the page, you know? Just sounding very, what do you call it? Artsy there. The potential of the page.
Yes.
And you guys tend to take little bits of each version and combine them into one to make it something that neither you or I would have thought of on our own, and that's what I really like about the collaborative process. You know.
Yeah, I do like the fact that you'll sometimes come up with I combine these together, or I move this panel to this page, and because it usually makes it better. It hasn't been a case where it's like, oh, what, you know, what's she doing that for, you know? Yeah. So.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, when you drop these on us, then that becomes what we have to do that night, sometimes, right?
Yeah.
So,
Unless it's a Friday.
yeah. Well, you did revised a page for us from 20.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and I realized that you sent the TIFF. I was like, usually you send a JPEG. Or, yeah. So I was.
It's a force of habit, right? Like, please send the TIFFs.
Yeah, and I was like,
Once
wait
the
a
inks
minute,
are done.
this is the TIFF. So I download. It's like, oh
At
wait.
some point, it becomes like an automatic response.
Yeah.
If you're the TIFF and you're the TIFF, then who's driving the train?
So, do we want to talk about the actual
Yeah.
thumbnail?
Do you want to share should I start sharing the pages?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
All right, let's share my screen. Alrighty.
Let me get that up here. There we go.
Oh, get down here. There I go. We've got version A, the thumbnails right here. In pages 1 through 8, we see the boys going to school, and they come across a dorm that's on fire. A girl's in the apartment, and Marty goes up to save her, and Eli helps, and they become the talk of the campus yet again. They've saved someone's life. And what else happens here? Mocha comes into their bedroom while they're doing homework, and they're chitty-chatting.
Mm-hmm.
And then Marty gets an email. Oh no, the parents are coming over.
Yeah.
And they talk about it, but we're not quite sure why yet. it's such a bad thing that their parents are coming over. They're kind of, although we can guess from the dialogue that it's not something they're very excited about. So
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to have a little bit of action in the story, so they actually do something kind of heroic.
Yeah.
And they're kind of known around campus. We've already established that as sort of, they've been called Power Squared by well, this has been out. So I'm trying to think, like, am I getting too far ahead?
Yeah.
Stories that haven't been released yet, but we've already dealt with. No, we haven't actually, have we? Gotten to the Quincy and all that?
We've done Quincy as the condenser. If that's what you're wondering.
Yeah, is that already out? It's 13. Okay, 13 is the imposter.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. After a while, it's like, what? Where are we? What's my name? Yeah, so we did Quincy. So she's already called them Power Squared because they did some heroic stuff on campus. Broke up they actually captured some guys that were trying to kidnap Jennifer. Right, so they already have a kind of reputation. And so people kind of expect them to do this stuff, but no one knows that they're using powers to do it.
Yeah.
Right? Rachel went away. Okay. Should we go back to just us?
Okay, clearly something happened here.
Her artwork stayed.
Yeah. This is going to be fun for people listening at home.
Oh, this is part of the live show. Whoa.
True.
Okay.
This looks weird. Yes, here.
Am I back?
Okay.
Right.
We thought
Okay,
maybe we
there
insulted
you
you
are.
or something.
Hi.
What happened?
I don't know what happened there. So maybe it was my internet. I don't know. Anyway,
Yeah,
let me get back to this.
For a while
There we
there, your
go.
artwork was there and you were gone. It was like, what did we do?
Oh no. Anyway, I'm sorry. What were you guys saying?
Well, we're just talking about how great your artwork was, but we don't want to repeat ourselves. No, we were just sort of talking about how the boys are in the first part of the book. They actually do something kind of heroic, showing no fear, and part of the idea is that they're kind of known around campus for being kind of heroes. And we already had the Kirby reaction to that.
Yeah.
And 6 and 7. Was that your first issue, Kirby?
Yeah,
Kirby?
6 or 7.
Yeah, 6.
6 and 7.
Yeah. Kirby Good and Evil. Was reacting to them having done something kind of heroic on campus and being kind of known for it. So they're kind of, and then in what's in the name, Quincy sort of coins Power Square to describe them.
Yeah.
For the press, for the local paper, campus paper, and so the fact that they're doing this is sort of not unexpected, and nobody knows they're using powers to do some of it. They're just happy that someone's taking care of stuff.
Yeah. I like to imagine Marty and Eli's friends, Kirby and Steve and Don, like, at this point in their relationship, they're just like, oh, cool, you saved somebody. That's great. Love it.
I wanted Kirby to go, oh, so you're heroes again. In my head, I could hear it.
We love that for you. We're so happy for you, girl.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, and so we're showing how brave they are, and then when they find out their parents are coming, it's like there's something very afraid. It was the
Dun,
little
dun,
gesture.
dun.
Contrast.
Yeah, contrast there. So that was kind of part of it. So should we actually look at the pages more than just this distant thumbnail?
Yeah, do you want me to show the other set?
Sure.
Let's see, set number 2. I guess this is most of the pages that we went with. Set B.
Yeah, we did a lot of B's. We're trying to go for, when we see something more dynamic looking, we tend to kind of go for that.
I do like this second page where I have got like a little inset and then like a big panel here. This set is more fun.
Yeah. So yeah, what we'll do, we'll say we like 1 through 5 on A and 6B, and I know that we've had a problem in the past where you had to the 180 rule got busted or whatever.
Yeah.
But no, yeah.
I always figure that out,
Yeah. So, and then I guess we gave you some comments back about things that were different than what we thought.
Oh yeah, yeah.
We won't go into that in public, but okay. I like the fact that there's really no knockdown dragouts about anything, really.
Yeah.
We're not like, at each other over it. Because we had
No
like,
creative, what creative differences?
Yeah.
well, or yeah, but we're not, you don't get upset about it or whatever. We had a long, until you fix that page on issue 20, we kept going back to Julia going, no, this isn't right. This isn't what we wanted.
Wow.
And she kept trying to change it a little bit. And like, no, okay, that's not what we wanted.
And then we figured out the root of it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we were, that was the art. It was the line art that we'd had you do a version that we were like not happy with the coloring of, so we went back. So yeah, there was no real, she didn't mind doing 6 versions of it.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. Well,
Aw.
yeah,
Although we try to catch things so that we don't have to do that.
yeah, that was just and then that was sort of an aberration. We hadn't really gone that far usually,
Yeah.
and we do occasionally, we have occasionally called her and stuff, so or talked to her about stuff.
Yeah.
But so, okay. So, do you want to talk about any panel or page that you like more than others, or?
I do like this one on page 1 where
Can you zoom in
she's
at all?
looking down at them and they look like little ants. Fun. Maybe
Can you zoom in on that page, that thumbnail?
here, right here, this one. I don't know if you can. I don't know. Can you see my mouse at all?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just wondering. I mean, because when we review these, we kind of zoom in on each thumbnail. There you go. Yeah, that
Oh, I
point of
see.
view. Yeah.
Can you guys see my mouse on the screen?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this one.
Right. That image. Yeah. And again,
Yeah.
I don't know how many community colleges have dorms, but yeah, we're going with it.
Must be at least a few, right?
I would imagine. I think, didn't Kent State have dorms when it was a 2-year school? I mean, so it depends, I guess, on the college.
Also, this is fiction. You can make up whatever you want.
Yeah, but I'd like to have it at least be somewhat based
Yes.
in, reality. I don't like it when people are trying to have, like it be reality and it's not reality.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know. This is fantasy and all that, but I don't want it to be too
I feel like there's larger community colleges and smaller ones,
Yeah.
Yes. And apparently, and you were aware of this, I got an email about somebody was inquiring about San Ramiro Community College
Yeah.
to a nursing school.
That seemed like a bot almost. Like
That-
they just send out any site that seems like an educational site.
Well, I don't know, but I mean, it was it's a real, enroll.com is a real website, and that guy is the founder of it, and that
Yeah.
was his email. I looked all that up. So somebody might have been inquiring, to it. I don't know.
Maybe they're really hopeful.
But we don't have a website that's San Ramiro Community College. You'd have to know to look for it.
Yeah.
And then you write into a comic book about it. So,
Or maybe like there's people like, wow, community college with dorms?
yeah.
Awesome.
I want to go. Well, I guess we should develop a nursing program because apparently that would be popular. But no, I wrote it back and apologized that I don't know this person, but sort of I'm sorry that you got caught up in this, but it's a fictitious school. But I'm a little amused that somebody would actually ask about it. So kind of feel like life entertainment.
Maybe Marty and Marty and Eli can go into nursing. They haven't figured out their major yet.
That's true. I don't see them doing nursing, but that is a great profession, by the way. But I just don't see that working.
Yeah.
Do you? No. We haven't got to.
Nursing theory.
We're still in the first year, right? So they're just doing the basic courses.
Well, when I went through community college, all I did was just the general stuff, and then when I went to CSUN, I just focused on the major.
Right.
It was cheaper that way.
Yes. Though it took a long time to go to community college because they weren't offering the basic classes enough.
Yeah.
freshman English was filled up before you started.
But I digress.
Yes. But anyway, that part of the school is based on that experience.
Yeah.
You had an evil science teacher. And
I swear, every single science teacher I had in grade school was evil. They were never happy. I don't know what it was about science in particular. You would think science would be like, yes, science.
Yeah.
And all my teachers are like, fuck you guys.
So, anything else you want to share?
Let's see, I'm excited to get more into this issue, especially when the parents come. They don't actually appear until the very, very end of this first issue of the arc, but I'm excited to get there. I'm excited to relay their antics.
Because I was afraid that we've gone from this really action-oriented, finally got really action-oriented to something it's kind of a talky kind of.
Yeah.
There's some action, but obviously.
Oh no, this issue has drama.
Yeah, which is, I know, what everybody looks for in a fantasy superhero comic book. It's drama.
We got family matters up in here.
That's right. Yeah, I just thought
That's the spicy stuff.
try to broaden them out. You
Yeah.
know, give you kind of the whole flair because you have to wonder what happened. Where are their parents?
Yeah.
Why aren't they taking them to school? Or, why aren't they living at home? That kind of stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure people are asking.
I'm sure there's one or two people that are asking.
Well, I was asking.
See, well, there you go. You're one person. Really important. So it worked out. So the idea is that we're going to introduce the parents, and we're going to find out something about them that we're not going to like, and they're kind of they're not as good as they'd like to be at what they do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Should Rachel keep sharing your screen?
You don't have to keep sharing your screen if you don't want to, unless there's something on there you want to share. Want to get into.
Alright, let's close that.
So, anything else you want to talk about?
Let's see, summer's in the air. It's hot as balls. I'm just trying to survive. I don't know about you guys.
Is there any movies you're planning on seeing?
Ooh, what's that one anime movie? I think it's called Shikano-o. It's a Ghibli movie. It's about deer.
Oh,
right.
And I'm really excited. It's coming out in theaters.
Okay. When's that coming out?
Sometime this month, I want to say. June or July.
Okay.
Summer is the season of movies. How about you guys?
We're sort of doing the major films like a week late. Hopefully the crowds will be gone. So we saw Downton Abbey, New Era last week.
Ah.
I like Downton Abbey. And then we're seeing Top Gun Maverick this weekend.
Ooh.
So we're not too far behind. And we still haven't seen like the Doctor Strange movie. We're waiting for that to be on Disney, right?
Yeah, Doctor Strange 2 is gonna be on Disney Plus this month, so we're gonna see it then.
Yeah. So
Good luck.
we're just trying to, I'm hoping that the first week is, everything drops off the second week by like 50% or something. So I'm just hoping there's fewer people, and try to see an early screening so people aren't really awake or whatever going to movies.
Yeah.
And try to do it that way. So, and then I don't think we have any plans to see like Jurassic Park, Dominion.
Right.
Is there a Jurassic Park movie coming out?
Yeah.
Jurassic
Oh,
World.
hell.
Jurassic World, Dominion. Is that what's
No, the Jurassic movies, the JCU, the Jurassic Cinematic Universe.
Yes, they've beat it into the ground, and now they're trying to do one more. Because you have to do a trilogy.
I still have not seen the original. I need to see that.
Jurassic Park or Jurassic World?
Jurassic Park.
Wow. Yeah.
Then I remember at college, they'd have screening for movies.
Yeah.
They advertised a screening for Jurassic Park. I was like, oh, I've never seen Jurassic Park. This is my chance. I can see it for free. I went to go see it. It was Jurassic World.
Wow.
It definitely wrote Jurassic Park, but it was Jurassic World. And I'm like, come on.
Yeah.
It was
How do
a
you
fine
mix those
movie.
up?
It's
I
Jurassic
know.
something. Yeah,
Jurassic something.
we saw Jurassic Park
Yeah.
at home. right?
Yeah.
And then we saw Jurassic World, and
The theater.
then the follow up to that,
And then Fallen Kingdom.
Fallen Kingdom, okay. Which is, at that point, it's like, okay, this is just really stupid. So, and they're gonna have a third one. It's like, okay, movies are
Honestly, I'm happy with dinosaurs. If it just had dinosaurs, I'm happy.
Yeah.
well, this is just dumb. I'm sorry. They're trying to save them, and then they become a commodity, and it's like, oh, really? I think somebody would crack down on this pretty quick. Importing, the idea that you could do that, it just seems really ludicrous. The whole idea you could train them is ludicrous too, but it wouldn't be a movie without it, I guess.
Yeah.
And I'm shocked at how much movies cost. And I haven't been in 2 years, but it's like they tripled the price or something to make up for it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It just seems like they went up. You think if you're trying to get people to come back to something that they maybe got out of the habit of not doing, you wouldn't jack up the price really high.
Yeah.
To make up for it.
You would think, man. I remember the theater down the road from me. They had gone on reservations when I was in high school. Tickets at that point were $10, which is we were already complaining about movie prices then, right? But they went on renovation and they came back as a dine-in theater, like the recliners, and they have like a table and you can order dinner, and tickets were $5. I was like, what? Tickets are $5? I guess they figured they would make up the rest of the money when you order food, right?
Yeah.
But I wouldn't want to order dinner. I just want, I don't know, my drink and my comfy seat.
Yeah.
But like, it was the best, but they've raised the prices to $10 again. I'm just like, oh.
here to see a matinee.
Yeah.
Is that, and it's like $11.75.
Oh, that's it?
Per person, and then they charge.
I guess I figured in California your tickets were like $30 a person.
Well, if you wanted to see it in like during I'll say prime time, it would be a lot more. It'd be
Okay, yeah.
There was this one. If we went to see it in okay, I missed somehow I got the price wrong, but it looked like it went up $5 for it being in Dolby. I was like, I'm not paying $20
Oh my god.
for Dolby,
Come
but
on,
it actually
man.
was the deal. And then
Who cares about Dolby?
But then it goes up to, it can be $20-something a ticket just to go see it. And I'm like, I'm not paying that much.
Yeah.
And
No.
it's just too much. But I thought, there used to be something here called the Arc Light, which they closed, when everything closed down for COVID, and then they just stopped doing it when everything came back. And they were charging like, $18 for kind of a primetime thing, but it was this sort of, they had somebody come up and introduce the film at the front and say, I'll make sure the sound's okay. They kind of made you feel like you were special.
And they didn't show ads.
And they didn't show ads. So we went to see a movie, and you have to add 30 minutes on because it doesn't start when the movie's supposed to start because they have more ads to get to you, and then they get to the trailers, and it's like, God,
Yeah, I noticed the last couple of times we were in the theater that the movie started like over 20 minutes later.
Yeah, because they were just, and I don't know, I really don't like ads. I have television for that.
Yeah.
That's true. We get enough ads, man. And honestly, I don't like to watch trailers. They always spoil the best part of the movie. I want to go into a movie knowing as little as possible, right?
That reminds me, like, we've seen the Minions trailer a couple times now, and in the theater, and it felt like it was just the entire movie.
Yeah. They're basically telling you the whole plot of the movie, or at least what you think is going to be the whole plot of the movie.
It's like, is this the whole movie?
Yeah.
And
I went to too many like comedy movies, for example, where they give away the best joke in the trailer, and the rest of them are just like whatever. And I'm like, thanks, guys.
they're trying to get you to want to go see it.
I know. Yeah, it's all for selling. And we live in a society. We're always being sold to, and I'm sick of it.
We live in a society, bottom text.
Oh.
But speaking of selling things, we want people, of course, to buy Power Square.
We're always being sold to.
Yes.
Meanwhile, go buy our comic.
Yeah. We're going to put out 13 and 14 and 15 this year. I sent off to get proofs, and about 3 weeks ago or 4, and still haven't gotten them yet. So kind of want to at least see them before I say, hey, we're going to put them out. So, and everything's just slower nowadays, and I don't know if it's paper is the issue or just what the problem is. But we're still waiting for that to come out. So if you're wondering, I keep doing the peak of the week being issue 13. I'm running out of things to show from it because I pretty much have covered every page.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because it's 13. That's the bad luck number.
Well, it's also going to be Julia's first the first book she did with us. So
it's true. I'm looking forward to seeing that come out.
Yeah. It's been like forever. So anyway, we digress. So 22 is going to be something about the parents.
Yes.
We have to pick up a better name. So if you can think of a great name, let us know. Anyway, so anything else?
Something like Family Matters. Original, right?
Family Matters? Yeah.
What? No, there's no show called that.
Yeah, I think yeah. So, yeah, we have to come up with a better title than Parents' Day, or Parents Come for Christmas, or it's just Parents Show.
Family Issues.
What?
It's like it's 2 issues.
Right. So family issues.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
we'll workshop that.
Yeah, we'll workshop.
In the meantime, if you are watching this on YouTube later and you want to see more of this, and you like it, leave a like. If you want to see more, consider subscribing and ringing the bell.
Right, so we're up to 40 subscribers on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, it was a milestone that we wanted to set.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So until next time, I'm David Hankins.
I'm Paul Hankins.
And I'm Rachel Wells.
And you've been on the air with Power Squared.